What's up? It's your girl D'Angel, and welcome to my channel. Oh, and don't forget Baby Kingston. In today's video, I'll be talking about my pregnancy story. Well, telling y'all my pregnancy story. I met my son's father June of 2019, and we dated for like a little bit before I found out I was pregnant. And so it was like the end of March, and it was like the beginning of quarantine, and I had went and spent like 2 or 3 days over my boyfriend's house. Well, he's my ex now, but my child's father's house. And we was like, you know, chilling. We stayed in the house all day because the quarantine had just started, so we had stayed in the house all day. And plus he worked at home and stuff, and he had to work, so we had to stay in the house or whatever. So we stayed in the house, watched movies, you know, chilled, or whatever. And it was just like fun and cool to, you know, spend time with him or whatever. So we always, like, when I say always, like every time we, you know, we use protection. But this one time when we decide, okay, we've been in a relationship for this much long, we can, you know, trust each other, that we both clean or whatever. So we decided not to use protection, and this happened. But like in February, like the beginning of February or the end of February, no, it was the middle of February, because it was like 2 or 3 days before Valentine's Day. We both had went to a clinic. He went to his clinic, I went to mine, and we both got, you know, and everything was good. So that's how we knew we can trust each other. And then we had, so back to the end of March or whatever, that happened. So we knew we both was good at the end of the day. And plus we was thinking like, okay, we're gonna go get you some birth control, and then we're gonna start doing that. We're gonna stop using it. But it was just like we was in the house alone, just me and him, and it just happened, you know. And we both wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking, he wasn't thinking. So last day of me staying the night over his house, we had gotten into a big argument, and he had to work that day, so he couldn't take me home. So while he was in his office working, I was, you know, I was in his room laying down or whatever. So we was mad at each other, and we broke up. We ended up breaking up, and he took me home when he got off that night. Before then, we was planning to go on a trip to Florida for his birthday. His birthday is in April, so we was planning to go on a trip for his birthday. So we broke up, we canceled the trip, and all of that happened. So in April, so all those days came, and then April came. So I was supposed to come on my period April the 3rd, but on April 1st, you know, I was I live with my grandma, so I was in the house, and I was telling my grandma, like, Grandma, I'm supposed to be coming on my period in 2 days, so can you give me some pads or whatever. So she went and got me some pads and stuff, and this and the third. Well, I gave her the money, but she didn't take the money, so but she was like, yeah, I go get it, this and the third. So she came back with the pads, I put them in the bathroom, waited. April 3rd came, no period. Cramps came, but no period. Okay. The next day, April 4th, I had got a little spotting a little bit, and a lot of cramps. So I was like, okay. So the third day of me missing my period came, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like, I missed my period. Like, my period never on time. So I was just like not worried about it or whatever. And then the seventh day of me missing my period came, and at this point it was just like I was forgetting about my period. But when that seventh day came, I had this app on my phone called it was like a period tracking app or whatever, and it reminded me that I was 7 days late on my period. So I tell my auntie, which is my uncle's girlfriend, and they've been together since I was born, so I always knew her as my auntie. So I told my auntie, like, I'm 7 days late on my period, like, this never happened to me. And she was like, girl, you better not be pregnant or whatever. I'm like, nah, I ain't pregnant, I ain't pregnant and none of that. So still thinking to myself, like, hold on, what am I pregnant or whatever. But I'm just thinking, like, okay, my period is being crazy right now, or maybe I'm just too stressed out, so let me release some stress or something. So the 10th day came, and I'm like, okay, this is out of hand. I need to go ahead and I need to go get a pregnancy test or whatever. So on April 14th, my son's father's birthday was on April 7th, and the day after, I didn't want to do it on his birthday because, like, that's crazy, but the day after his birthday would maybe even be as bad. I had texted him or whatever, and I was like, I'm 7 days late on my period, and I think I'm pregnant or whatever. And he was like, you're not pregnant, you just want to get back with me, and we're not getting back together until it's over. So I'm like, no, I really think I'm pregnant. I missed my period, and I sent him a screenshot of the pregnancy chart I had or whatever. So he still continued to not believe me. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So April 14th, it was me, my uncle, his girlfriend, their daughter. We was in the car, and we were going to Family Dollars to get some snacks and stuff to eat on or whatever. And I had walked past some pregnancy tests, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and grab me one. So I got me a pregnancy test or whatever. Out the hurt. I had got me a pregnancy test or whatever, and got in the car, went back home. When I tell you, I didn't drop down nothing, I didn't put down nothing, I went straight to the bathroom. Took my pregnancy test. So when I took my pregnancy test, it came out positive. So I'm looking at the pregnancy test, and I'm staring at the pregnancy test. Then I just start crying. Okay, I stopped crying, wipe my eyes or whatever, wipe up. Then I take a picture of it and send it to my son's father or whatever. And he still didn't believe me. Like, he didn't talk to me that whole day. The rest of that night, he didn't text me, he didn't answer to my calls, he didn't text me back or none of that. So when I go out the bathroom, and I sent a picture of it to my friend. So I go out the bathroom or whatever, and I take the pregnancy test and go hide it. So I went in my uncle's and my auntie room, and I was like, my auntie named Shay, so I was like, Auntie Shay, can you come here so I can show you something or whatever. She knew that I had the pregnancy test. So cause when we was in the car, I told her that I bought it. So I took her to where the pregnancy test was, and I showed her, and she was like, she really couldn't say anything or whatever. So I was like, please don't tell my grandma. I want to tell her myself, and I want to tell everybody myself. So don't tell nobody. And she was like, don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. Me, this is you. This is your life. So I'm gonna let you tell them or whatever. Whatever. I ain't gonna tell nobody. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll go to sleep. You know, it was on my. I really couldn't go to sleep that night. Because it was just like all over my mind. And plus when I had took the test, it was like 7 or 8 at night. So it was just like all over my mind. So I really couldn't sleep or do anything. So the next morning, my son's father had texted me back finally, whatever, and he was still in disbelief. Like, he still didn't believe it at all. Like, he still didn't believe it, or I feel like he did believe it, but he didn't want to believe it or whatever. So went into my auntie and my uncle room to talk to them about it. I mean, to talk to her about it, because I had waited till my uncle left the room to talk to her. So she was like, your uncle know. And I was like, you told him? How you know, or whatever. And she was like, no, I didn't tell him. He just figured it out. Because when I got back in the room, he kept asking me what, you know. And I asked her, like, what did he say? And she was like, he didn't say nothing. He wasn't mad. He wasn't anything. You 17 and you about to be 18. You'll be 18 by the time you have your baby. So technically you grown and this is your decision. I was like, okay, that's how you feel? Okay, cool. So I got approval from my uncle. Was not approval, but I was happy that my uncle wasn't disappointed in me or mad at me, because like he's like a good, like a father role to me or whatever. So like him not being so or extra mad at me, it was just like, okay, cool. So my mama was living in Macon, Georgia, and she came over here to visit us. So for like a day, she just came for a day to visit us, and she took my sisters to go see their friends or whatever. So when she came over, we sat down or whatever, chilled. Then we got in the car and went to my auntie house, my other auntie, which is my mother's sister. So we went to my auntie house, whatever, chilled over her house. So it was my mama, my auntie, and my cousin, and their kids, and my siblings or whatever. It was while the kids was outside. My auntie, her dog just had her puppy, so they was outside. The kids was outside playing with the puppies, and it was just me and my mama and my auntie and my cousin in the living room. So I was planning to tell them like right then and there, but it couldn't slip out for nothing. Like, it couldn't come out. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna tell them then. Ouch, oh, contractions. Oh, and the labor and delivery video is coming as soon as he comes. So it's coming soon. So be ready for that. Oh, but okay, so we had left my auntie house and took my sisters over their friend house or whatever, so they can stay the night for her sleepover, her friend's sleepover or whatever. So once we dropped them out, we went to McDonald's to get something to eat. So the whole time I'm like in the car, like gagging, throwing up. Like, well, I didn't throw up, I was just gagging. And I just yelled like, I yelled out, oh my God, I'm so tired of this. I can't take this no more. So my cousin asked me, what you can't take, what you tired of? And I was like, oh, nothing, I'm just sick of this. It's hot and I can't, and I'm throwing up, and I feel sick or whatever. She was like, oh, you want me to turn the air? I was like, yeah, please. So she turned the air, Little did I know, my cousin was catching on, like she was really catching on. So we had came back to my house or whatever, and when we came back, my mom was getting ready to leave to go back home. We had sat down and ate our food or whatever, and my mom was ready to go. So I had walked into the car or whatever, and she was putting my sister in the car in a car seat or whatever. So I was thinking in my head like, okay, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? And my heart beating so fast, like my heart beating so fast. So I went out there, and when she got done putting my sister in the car seat, I was just like, Mom, I gotta tell you something. And she was like, what? Then she looked me up and down, and she said, you pregnant, ain't you? And she touched my stomach like this, and she was like, yep, you pregnant. And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant, Mama. And then she was like, you know there's no abortion, you're not having no abortion. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then she was like, this is you, this is your life, this is your responsibility, and or whatever. But she also made sure I know that she was gonna help me, like, and she stuck to her word. Like, she helped me and Kingston a lot, but she made sure that I knew that she was gonna help me or whatever. But she also didn't believe me at the same time. So at our house, at this house, the water heater had the pipes burst, and we couldn't use our water. So when it happened, I was asleep. I woke up to, I thought they were shooting outside, so it was like buzzing. I thought they were shooting outside. I was scared. Like, it was crazy. I'm telling you how my cousin found out. So I was in the living room laying down on the sofa, which is right here. And she came in here, and she was like, you pregnant? And I was like, how you know? My mom told you? And then she was like, no, it's just you been walking around here sick, gagging and everything. Your stomach getting bigger, you getting fatter, you gain a lot of weight. You don't do nothing but lay around and sleep all day. And I was like, okay, call me out then. And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant or whatever. So she had, she was like, okay, but I told her, like, don't tell my grandma. And I also told my mom that don't tell my grandma. I want to tell my grandma myself. Like, I told everybody this. Don't tell my grandma. I want to tell my grandma myself. When I tell y'all my morning sickness, like, in my first trimester, in the first half of my second trimester, I was sick non-stop. Like, every single day I was throwing up. So, you know, I went over there to my mama's house, and I really felt like more comfortable at my mama's house because, like, everybody over there knew that I was pregnant. So, and I didn't have to hide my pregnancy no more. So I felt more comfortable over there, but I really didn't because my mom had 2 poodles, and at that time they wasn't fully trained, and it was pooping and peeing all over the house. So that made me mad, and the smell made me gag and sick and all of that. So, but now they well trained. They don't poop or pee all over the house. They don't do none of it. But I had stayed up, but I just stayed over my mama's house in Macon because she didn't feel like driving to Atlanta to take me back home. But little did we know that she was pregnant, and she was hiding her pregnancy too. So me and my mama had gotten into this big argument or whatever. Like, the whole 3 weeks that I was there, like, we couldn't get along at all. Like, I was wondering, like, why can't we get along? Usually we can get along, but why we can't get along? So we couldn't get along at all. So she was like, you're not even pregnant, you just lying, you faking it. And I was like, no, I'm not. I took the pregnancy test, and I showed her the pregnancy test and everything. So she was like, okay, I got a pregnancy test in my room. Go take it. Peed on it. Positive. And I was like, see, Ma, I told you. And then she was like, okay. She when I finally got home after the 3 weeks. Then, but while I was there, I was doing job interviews. I was doing everything, like trying to get me a job quick. So my first day going home, I had a job interview. So I had went straight to the job interview. As soon as I got back to Atlanta, I went straight to the job interview or whatever. And I got the job, and it was on a Sunday when I went home, and I started working on it on a Tuesday. So working there, it was like very, very hard. Like it was hard working because, you know, I'm always sick. It was hot in there, and the grease and all of that. And my baby, like, I kept eating the food. I was working at Checkers, so I kept eating the Checkers, and my baby didn't like it, so he had me throwing up over and over and over again. So, and that was like in May. So, while I was at my mama's house, I forgot to tell y'all this. While I was at my mama's house, my grandma found out I was pregnant, and I called her and talked to her or whatever, and she told me how she feel or whatever, and she just was very disappointed in me or whatever. And she was, you know, she said she was going to support me, and she have, but she was also mad at me and disappointed in me, and she felt like, you know, it's more, I could have did more to prevent this. So June 8th, I want to say, it was somewhere between June, I went to this clinic, and they give you like free pregnancy tests, free ultrasounds, and free counseling, and it called Atlanta Care or whatever. So I went there, took a pregnancy test. The test came out positive. Did my counseling session in the same day. 2 days later, had my first ultrasound. When I saw my baby, it was just like, oh my God, I'm about to have a freaking baby. Like, a baby is living inside of me. And then I was like 4 months. Yeah, I was like 4 months pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, I really got a baby living inside of me. And like, I'm crying, like literally crying. And it was like tears of joy, but like I was also like not happy because I'm a single mom at the age of 17. And well, now I'm 18, but then I was 17, so like I'm a single mom at the age of 17, and it's not how I wanted my life to go. And then me and my baby father wasn't talking or whatever. So it was just like crazy, like emotions were just like running everywhere. So after my ultrasound, it just felt like I was happier, because like every time I see my baby, and every time I hear my baby heartbeat, or every time I think about my baby, I'm just happy, you know. And he makes me happy or whatever. July 18th, I remember because I was so excited that day. It was the best day of my life. So July 18th, I went to ultrasound, my first professional medical ultrasound at the hospital, at Grady Hospital. If you're from Atlanta, you know that everybody go to Grady. Who don't go to Grady, that's why they always packing full. But I went to Grady or whatever, and I see the penis. And she's just trying to scan from it, like she trying to scan past it, like I don't see it. So in my head I'm thinking like, damn, I'm having a boy. But I'm just hoping like, oh, please let it be a girl, let's be a girl. Okay, so she was like, okay, go ahead. And she was like, I'm finna go turn these pictures in, go ahead and FaceTime your mama while I'm out. So I called my mama, we on FaceTime. She did it, and she was like, okay, you ready? I just counted to 3. She's like, 1, 2, 3. It's a boy, or whatever. So I was like, oh my God, it's a boy, mama, blah, blah, blah. And I was so happy. When I tell you, I was like so excited that my baby was a boy. I thought I was gonna cry and be angry that he was a boy, but I was so excited. Like, I was super excited that I told everybody. So I knew that day I was gonna find out the gender, so I planned his name the next day. I mean the day before. So his name was Kingston Josiah Thompson, but now his name is Kingston Amir Thompson. So I am 35 weeks in 5 days. Yeah, I'm 35 weeks and 5 days in my 9th month of pregnancy, and my due date is December 6th, and hopefully I have him soon, like in November or something, like next week or 2. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on my channel, and turn on your notifications button to know when I post another video. And my next video will be a labor and delivery video. Make sure y'all tune in, and bye. Say bye, kids.